relationship between ethics and a free society is inextricably combined. I mean, it's everything to a free society, because it starts with our own personal behavior. If it's wrong for me to steal, if it's wrong for me to lie, if it's wrong for me to covet, if it's wrong for me to kill, then I can't ask another person to do these things for me. I mean, a politician would like to presume that he has greater powers and rights than all other people, but that's not true. A politician has no rights that any of the rest of us don't have. We can't give, by our consent, rights to a politician that we don't have ourselves. So if I don't have the right to do any of these terrible things, stealing, killing, coveting, lying, all of these things, if I can't do them myself, then I have no right to ask somebody else to do it in place of me. I always ask my classes, I say, well, do you have a right to steal? Take this person's money against their wish? No, I don't. Well, would it be okay for you to ask somebody else to do it for you? No, it's still wrong. Well, how about if the whole room asks this person to steal this money? No, it's still the act. The act is the same. Well, that's the basic principle behind the libertarian view of non-aggression. You can't ask politicians to do things for you that you can't do by yourself. So in that case, you're left with a libertarian society, a totally free society, where everybody is free to pursue their own ends, so long as they don't infringe on the rights of other people. Each person is, I believe, fully responsible both for the gains and the losses of their actions, and they have the right to choose their course of life. And the fact that that you have gains and losses are both important to growing. This is one of the things that I mentioned in the epilogue of the book, the Philosophy of Liberty, that success and failure are both important to growth. I mean, if the government can step in and save you from every false move, every bad move, every reckless move, then you never learn. In fact, what you learn is to curry the favor with the government. And where is the government going to get its wealth to bail you out of every mishap? They're going to take it from the responsible people. So those are exactly the wrong messages you want to send, to punish the people who are making good choices and good decisions and reward the people who are making bad decisions. That's a prescription for a disaster of a society. So we don't want that. We want a society where everybody learns by both success and failure, and they grow. And you can only do that by holding people fully accountable for their actions. And the recent cases of the government bailing out failing banks and failing automobile companies and this and that sets up what we call moral hazard in economics, the concept that you're encouraging reckless behavior when you take the responsibilities away and you put them onto innocent parties, such as the taxpayers. And I added a new chapter to Jonathan Gullible, by the way, called Moral Hazard, in which there's this soccer game going on. And one player can kick and punch and beat every other soccer player out on the field. And he doesn't get penalized. Somebody else on the other team always gets penalized. Well, Jonathan says, well, how is that ever going to teach this guy to behave properly? Oh, well, we're not going to teach him to behave properly. After all, he's a very important person. His father's prime minister and all that. No, we're going to put him in charge of the banks. Well, imagine what a game would be like if you never put the penalty on the person who caused the damage. That's what they used to have with whipping boys. In Middle Ages, the prince would have a whipping boy. Since you couldn't punish the prince because he's royalty, you would punish the whipping boy, and he would take the penalty for any reckless behavior of the prince. Well, what does that teach the prince? Nothing. He can do anything he wants, and other people will take the blame. And that's why kings could send their whole countries into war, because they never had to feel the consequence of their behavior.